Hey, it's Dr. Dale with 5 reasons why it helps you to grieve effectively when you have someone to share your experiences with that's been through similar things. And that's the reason why we have grief support groups, because grieving, most people think of it as a isolated, lonely process. And when you have a grief support group that helps you connect with other people who are experiencing grief and loss and are able to share and talk to each other. And that leads me to number one. It gets you out of your own head, because a lot of the times, a lot of depression sets in because we're just sitting there with ruminating thoughts, thinking about the loss and not knowing what to do. And there's so many unanswered questions and unknown feelings of what you're feeling. And that leads me to number two. You don't feel so isolated. When you have a grief support group, you're able to sit and talk to people who have lost someone. Not every experience is the same, and that's not what I'm saying. But just to say, oh, you were up all night crying every night for 5 days. Oh, I thought that was just me, and because I was doing it for 10 days. And that leads me to number three. It helps grief become doable, because now you're not just sitting and holding it in. You're actually getting it out and expressing it and sharing it, and not just bottling. Because I think once you bottle all of that up, it just explodes at some point. And that leads me to number four. You are able to identify your grief triggers at that point. You know, hey, on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, I'm probably going to break out in tears for a while, because that's the time me and my loved one played bingo or something like that. And that leads me to number five. You are not giving in to avoiding grief, because when you're in a support group, you're placed right in it, so you can't avoid. And a lot of us think that avoidance is going to help us get over it faster. I think it causes it to linger, because it's almost like the big elephant in the room, and you just keep trying to go around it, and it's just getting bigger and squeezing you. So grief groups are great. And on that note, I am starting a grief group in December. The flyer is right behind this video. But it will be going through our grief journal that I created, and we'll share experiences. We'll talk about triggers. We'll talk about 5 stages of grief. You'll be able to share whatever you want to share, and everything that we talk about stays in the group. And it's open to anyone, and it's online. And so if you're interested in that, please send me an email or DM me, and we'll get you signed up. Not sure the platform yet, if we're going to use Zoom or anything like that, but that will come. I just have to make sure how many people are going to be in the group. All right. Praying for everybody who has lost anybody. Just trying to make this journey a little easier for you out there.